Hello, everyone. Actually, without slide, I can talk. So I'll start. I'm the head of Memory Solutions Lab at Samsung. So our lab is developing a future product of DRAM and SSD. Okay. So our lab is kind of a startup, and we are developing we have a new ideation, and we are productizing future products. So to get an idea, we are working with a startup, enterprise, and data center. Also, we are funding 20 universities with a collaboration, and also we are actively participating all the organization and consortium. Especially, we are actively participating in OCP and FTI because the kind of a culture match with our lab, kind of a startup mode. Okay, so this is our Samsung campus in Silicon Valley. So our lab is at the 9th floor. From my office, I can see Levi Stadium, and then Great American Theme Park. So sometimes I'm kind of hesitating. I can see the old golf course too, Santa Clara golf course too. So Samsung is a very successful company. And this year, revenue will be more than $250 billion. So inside of Samsung, it's very hard to make a successful product. So to become a successful product, the market and revenue, minimum $1 billion. So it's very tough to become a successful product. Last 5 years, we're working on kind of a new product ideation and productization. We got a lot of challenges. So I want to share our challenges and what's our solution. So our conclusion was open innovation together with the community. So as I said, our lab is kind of a first mover. So from the ideation, and we kind of do a POC, and then eventually doing productization. As I said, at least minimum $1 billion. So you are not seeing this product right in the market. That means cannot reach the $1 billion. Still, we are struggling, but we are kind of keep working. So I'll explain what's our idea about this product. So, SSD, write I/O, causing a lot of issues, causing wearable, also causing garbage collection, and then garbage collection causing kind of increasing latency, and then bring down whole system performance. So to elevate this problem, we worked on the zone namespace and then multi-stream. But the issue was to add that feature, we are make the SSD firmware more complicated. Also, customer has to change their application software stack. Next one is CXL DRAM. So you already know that the CPU has a limitation at the DRAM stack. So to support more expandable memory through the non-DDR interface, we are working on CXL DRAM. But there is no software and hardware infrastructure right now. So server production, there is no server which support the DRAM. That means no ecosystem either. No hardware ecosystem, no software ecosystem for the DRAM, CXL DRAM. Another one is computational storage. So storage require a lot of I/O, right? So we want to do offload I/O and compute inside SSD. So we're trying to put some compute inside SSD. And then we kind of do background processing, also real-time processing inside SSD, so that we want to reduce the kind of the I/O and also improve the bandwidth and the latency. But this one also require a lot of ecosystem. So if you look at the NVIDIA CUDA, they spent like more than 10 years to build the ecosystem. But still, a lot of they are putting a lot of effort. So same thing, computational storage. We have to work together to develop the ecosystem. And still, we are lagging software support for computational storage. To pair with the CUDA-style computational storage API, it will take more time, at least maybe 5 more years. Another one is Ethernet SSD. So we invented a new SSD. The SSD itself has a network stack so that we can plug SSD directly to the switch. There are 2 benefits of the eSSD. The first one is we are directly connecting eSSD to the switch. We do not need a CPU. So we can reduce the total cost of ownership. Another benefit is data moving from NAND to switch directly. Doesn't have to go through CPU. So SSD to PCI bus to CPU to DRAM to NIC card to switch. We can bypass everything. So we can increase the bandwidth. Also, we can increase the latency. Also, we can improve a lot of TCO because we can remove unnecessary computation and DRAM. But this one has no server vendor. So we invented the eSSD, but there is no server to support the Ethernet interface. Recently, Foxconn released 2 types of EVOP, but still we need support from server vendors. Also, we need management software for the standard, consortium, and customers too. Another one is a KBSSD. So we thought that's a great idea. And we actually make a POC device and collaboration with many companies. Initially, data center company and enterprise companies said, wow, this is a good idea. And they can offload the log structured merge tree operation from CPU to SSD. So we can improve overall performance a lot because all the object-based storage and database, log structure management is a very heavy load operation. So they can offload their operation into SSD. So they are asking, so whose company is working on KBSSD tools? So we told them, oh, Samsung is the only vendor. So most of them, they said no, they don't want to use it. What if we stop producing the product? So to use KBSSD, they have to modify all the software stack and infrastructure. So what if Samsung stop producing the SSD? They have to roll back all the changes. So nobody want to use KBSSD. So initially we thought that's a great idea. And we are the technology leader, so we can sell a lot of SSD. But that was the problem. Nobody want to buy the product who doesn't have multi-vendor. That's the incubation challenge we suffered. So we think about how to solve these incubation challenges. So these are the challenges. Since we are the single vendor, also there is no community, technology innovation is very slow. So actually, I really like diversity. We need diversity, even though some smart guy can lead the technology, but diversity is very important. Using the diversity, we can think about the corner cases or other use cases. If small set of companies working on technology innovation will be very slow. Another one is ecosystem. As I said, NVIDIA spent a lot of money last 10 years, still they are spending. So building ecosystem, only one company cannot do it. As a company, we have to work together. Another one is a single vendor dilemma. I already shared. KBSSD case. Nobody want to buy the product if Samsung is only making the product. Another one is crossing the chasm. So we invented a lot of new device. So during the POC, everybody like it. But when I ask, do you want to buy? No. So from POC to small revenue, it's okay. But as I said, Samsung minimum is $1 billion revenue. It's very hard. So to get approval for productization, the market size and revenue has to be $1 billion. So crossing the chasm is very hard. So POC, a lot of good feedback, and eventually we're trying to make a device, but we got a kind of a lot of challenge from our leadership. So these are the challenges. So what's our strategy? So our lab actively working on standard and open source. So KB is a good example. Actually, we put KB interface in the NVMe. We initiate the standard, and in NVMe 2.0, KB API is the official interface. Actually, all the invention by our lab. And also, we open source a lot of libraries. NVMe driver, SNIA API, KB SAP, KB Rocks database, and then utility libraries. But that's not good enough. This kind of static activity used to be working like 5 years ago, but does not work anymore. We need a community and work together to solve this problem. So when we make a new product, we need evangelization. We have to spread the value of the technology, work together. Only one person talk about the value of the technology, that doesn't work. We have to work together to evangelize the new technology. Also, value chain doesn't work. We need a value constellation. Customers of customers, partners, and then competitor. We have to work together vertically, horizontally. Just single value chain doesn't work. Also, network doesn't work either. We need a very spread constellation. Each kind of network has a different charter and work together. And then we have to build a large constellation. And another one is a best of breed. So through the competition, we can make a breed. But another way is collaboration and community. So through the community, we have to make a best of breed technology and product. Most important thing is we have to make a bigger pie. So we are not running charity organization, right? The company eventually has to generate the revenue and profit. So there are many ways. One company kind of grab every revenue and market. Another way, actually better way, is make a pie bigger. So even though one company have a small portion, if you make a bigger pie bigger, eventually your revenue and profit will be getting bigger. So as a community, we will have to work together and make the pie bigger and get the more benefit. So this is our lab's kind of strategy. So our lab is developing CXL DRAM and telemetry for CXL SSD, CXL DRAM, computational storage, and eSSD, a lot of devices. We are developing the telemetry. Also, we are developing object storage and AI SSD. So luckily, all the product has matched work stream. That's the reason why we are heavily involved in the FTI organization. So through the collaboration, we want to develop the TCO model together. We want to develop the innovation platform. Innovation platform means physical and logical both. So logically, we have to have a same understanding, specification, and also testing platform. Physical, the innovation platform is once you develop the server and device, you have to plug and see if it's working. We need a physical innovation platform too. We also have to working on specification. It's not about device, how to connect, what's the use case, what's the behavior, depending on use cases, depending on workload. We have to define very high level, customer-based use case, and then the specification. And another one is a use case is very important. Depending on use case, the device can be used in a different way. So we have to consider all kind of use cases and come up with a good solution. So call to action. We have to work together. So academia. So our lab is supporting 2 university research project. The reason is academia has to develop use case. They are free, right? They have very smart PhD student to get the PhD degree. They will do a lot of weird thing. So that kind of fresh blood we need from academia. Also, evangelization, right? The professors are good at speaking. So spread rumors to everybody, everywhere. The value, so they can talk about the value of technology. And partners, we have to develop the vertical solution. So kind of a developing device, developing server, that's not good enough. We have to develop the some technology end user can consume readily. So all the partners, kind of top to bottom, we have to provide a good solution. Another one is competitor. We need a horizontal collaboration. So we have to develop even though we are competing, but we have to know who's better. And then we want to learn each other. To do that, we need a benchmark and then software ecosystem. Also, we have to working on standard and consortium. So I'm asking you to work together to solve the new idea, new product incubation challenges together with FTI. Thank you.